Very comfortable, low humidity. Hopefully you got a chance to get outside. Let's see how long this is going to last. Let's get to Angela Buckman in our weather center. Angela, we know it was a very active weekend.
It was a very active weekend. In fact, we have new information from the National Weather Service just within the last couple of hours that, in fact, we did have a tornado just south of downtown on Saturday evening. This happened at about 5:20. Wasn't on the ground long, but enough to do some damage on the ground about a quarter of a mile. Peak winds 76 miles per hour, so that puts it at an EF0, and that path just south of downtown Indianapolis, and you can see it not too far from the Crystal House South Academy. We were tracking this for you on Saturday evening, part of a big complex of rain and storms that not only brought severe weather, brought flash flooding, lots of flooding to the area. So we deserve this break that we're getting. That's a live view in Bloomington. Temperature right now at 80 degrees. We have 83 in Indianapolis and 81 in Lafayette. We'll take you into Hamilton County, where we have a mix of sun and clouds. In Carmel, Bainbridge, more of the same. And our evening forecast is going to be pretty quiet. Satellite is clear, radar is clear. And if you've got evening plans, weather's going to cooperate. Temperatures this evening will drop through the 70s.
Angela, thank you so much. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit. Tonight, criminal hazing charges against 7 IU Bloomington fraternity brothers at Phi Kappa Psi.
The charges follow a nearly 10-month investigation into an alleged initiation ritual. We first told you about this last fall. It was back in October that these allegations first came forward. In this incident, there were 2 pledges at Phi Kappa Psi that had to be hospitalized.
Our Ashton Hackman walks us through the allegations.
The charges allege last fall the 7 frat brothers forced pledges to endure exhaustive exercises, hours of push-ups, planks, and wall sits. Riley Agbanese was one of those hospitalized.
My legs ended up they were really inflated. They hurt a lot, and my urine was a dark color, kind of like a color of tea.
Doctors diagnosed him with rhabdomyolysis, a potentially life-threatening condition caused by muscle breakdown. He spent nearly a week in the hospital.
The symptoms that I had, those are the 3 symptoms that are the signs of it turning deadly.
Agbanese says the worst part was the brother squats. Pledges linked arms and did repeated sets of 30 squats for nearly a half hour. He says once police began asking, some fraternity members contacted him.
There definitely were members that, wanted me to keep quiet, keep the story different.
Now all 7 are facing felony charges for hazing. The fraternity's president, Arjun Patel, is also charged with obstruction. In a statement, IU said the allegations made in the charges are inconsistent with IU's values and expectations of student conduct. The fraternity's national chapter also responded, saying the allegations do not align with the purpose or values of the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. Agbanese has since transferred schools and says he wants others to learn from what happened.
Look out for yourself. If you know something's not right, or if it's affecting you, you don't stay quiet.
Phi Kappa Psi remains on cease and desist as students prepare to come back to campus. In the meantime, all 7 fraternity brothers are expected to be in court for the first time in September. In Bloomington, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Phi Kappa Psi is one of the 3 fraternities on cease and desist status at IU.
Tonight in Marion County, the coroner is identifying a 19-year-old man killed in a shooting. Torian Carpenter died after someone drove him to the hospital after the shooting. It happened near East 10th and North Arlington on the east side Sunday afternoon. That's where officers found another person who had been shot at an apartment building's common hallway. Police are not providing an update on that person's condition. Metro Police have arrested a man, we're told, on preliminary charges of murder and robbery in this incident.
And we're learning more tonight about a weekend shooting that left 1 man dead and an off-duty Lawrence police officer injured.
That officer is also retired from IMPD and a former deputy chief from IMPD. Rich Nye is here after talking with police and also the woman who lives at the house where that shooting went down. Rich.
The shooting happened Friday night just after 10 p.m. at a home on the east side. And investigators believe Lieutenant Bill Benjamin of the Lawrence Police Department was inside this home with a woman who lived there. The woman's ex-boyfriend allegedly showed up and began knocking on the door. A confrontation escalated. and both men fired shots. 53-year-old Lamont Johnson died. Benjamin was shot in the leg. He is still hospitalized. Police say this is preliminarily being called a self-defense shooting. IMPD is handling the criminal investigation. Lawrence police are conducting an administrative investigation to determine whether Benjamin violated department policies, rules, or procedures. Now, this is standard practice when an officer fires their weapon. Benjamin rose to the rank of deputy chief before retiring from IMPD in 2012, and now he is currently working as an investigations division officer for the Lawrence Police. Now, I talked to the woman involved who calls Benjamin a friend, and what she told me about the shooting. I'll have that for you tonight at 6 on 13 News.
Rich and I reporting. Thank you so much. And tonight, we're learning 2 18-year-olds are facing charges accused of an attempted robbery and a shooting involving juveniles, 2 juveniles. And there is an arrest warrant out for one of them. So this comes months after an incident near High School Road and Thompson Road on the southwest side of Indy. New court docs reveal the 2 people who shot are a brother and sister. In those same documents, Metro Police say the brother told officers he was meeting with someone to trade his gun back in March before getting into a fight followed by the shooting. The siblings are still going through physical therapy, and the brother has to wear a back brace and use a cane since surgery. Also new tonight, we'll see what the Washington Square Mall could look like in the future.
That's because there's an architecture firm that's going to release its findings to the community. That's going to happen in just about an hour if you'd like to go at the Warren Township Government Center.
Ella Rhodes has been covering the developments with the mall the past year and joins us live from there. Ella, what will people find out tonight?
Well, they'll find out the possibilities of what could be done with the mall. So that local architecture firm actually worked with a neighborhood committee to research the possibilities of what could be done here. They also met with people in the community over the summer and back in April about what they do and do not want to see here at the Washington Square Mall as it's fallen into disrepair over the last several years. And you can take a look at the video on your screen there, and that shows you how the mall currently looks. You can see the state of it. Weeds are overgrown, potholes cover the parking lot. The inside the mall also, the disrepair continues with roof leaking and ceiling damage, ventilation issues, and more. Now, City County Councilor Michael Paulhart has really led this initiative to revitalize the mall. And just to clarify again, the meeting tonight is going over the findings from the study of what could be done with the mall. So this findings from the study will guide a future developer. They're not concrete plans for the future of the mall. It's to guide a developer. And again, that meeting is at 6 p.m. at the Warren Township Government Center. And Maureen, Felicia?
Yeah, so Ella, is there a developer for the mall?
At the moment, still no from what we've been hearing, but that could change tonight in just a little bit as we learn more about the future of the mall.
All right, Elle, I know you've been on this and updating us for the past year about the goings on with this facility, and a lot of people are interested in it. We'll look forward to your report tonight here on 13 News at 11. Thank you so much. Also today, leaders say the city's drug landscape is becoming more dangerous. They say it's all due to synthetic drugs that are on the street that contain fentanyl. Today, the Marion County Coroner's Office, IMPD, the prosecutor, and the DEA all came together to talk about the dangers and also some of the prevention efforts that are now underway. Metro Police say since it created the overdose task force, that was 2 years ago, there have been more than 270 investigations. The group has arrested 26 people for dealing resulting in death. And they've recovered 30 guns and a large amount of fentanyl, cocaine, and fake oxycodone pills.
The impact is about people. Each case represents accountability and a family that gets some answers.
These agencies are asking you to talk with your loved ones about the dangers of taking illegal drugs. And also there is a big danger in taking medication that is not yours.
Well, tonight we're learning a man is under arrest accused of an overdose death a little more than a year ago. Metro Police found 68-year-old Daniel Patterson dead in the driver's seat of a truck at a storage facility near Emerson and East Southport Road last July. And in the last few days, officers found and arrested the 34-year-old suspect accused of supplying the drugs.
A former middle school track coach and custodian now pleading guilty to child sex charges, and in exchange, he will not see any prison time. A newly filed plea agreement shows that 26-year-old Elijah Bogard will plead guilty to 2 counts of possessing child sex abuse material. If the judge accepts, Bogard will serve no more than 3 years in community corrections. He was the Tipton Middle School track coach in the spring last year. He was also the athletic custodian for the middle school and the high school from last October until the school corporation fired him just this last February.